Welcome to the world of backyard birds. Did you know that birding, in other words, feeding and watching wild birds, is the second most popular outdoor activity in America? The only thing more popular is gardening. In populated areas where there's not much space, yards and city parks become important bird habitat year-round. So today, we're going to learn how to make your yard more bird-friendly. You and your parents can create your own backyard habitat, no matter where you live. It just takes a little planning and creativity. A good habitat includes food, water, shelter, and birdscaping. Cover these and you'll be sure to attract beautiful wild birds. When it comes to food, some birds will eat just about anything, while others are picky eaters. So to attract lots of different kinds of birds, you'll need to offer different kinds of seeds. Here are some examples. Oil sunflower is a type of seed that many different birds like. It's got a lot of fat in it, which provides much needed energy. This seed attracts chickadees, cardinals, nuthatches, goldfinches, and juncos. Goldfinches and other small birds love Niger seed. Its high oil content makes it a highly nutritious food. Safflower is a seed that cardinals really dig. And because of its bitter taste, squirrels won't eat it up on them. Believe it or not, some birds, like blue jays, woodpeckers, and nuthatches, even like peanuts, you can offer them whole or shelled, but just make sure they're not salted. Feeders come in all different shapes and sizes. The kind you choose just depends on what kind of birds you want to attract and what works best for your yard. Platform feeders can be placed close to the ground for ground-feeding birds. Hopper feeders hold lots of bird food, and they protect the food from rain and snow. There are also tube feeders for smaller birds, and squirrel-resistant feeders that keep squirrels from stealing your bird food. Instant feeders, such as formed seabells and cakes, are ready to hang and are an easy way to feed wild birds. Speaking of taking care of your feeder, it's a good idea to clean your feeder at the start of each new season with hot soapy water or 1 part bleach to 9 parts water. Ask your parents for help with the bleach. Using soap or bleach gets rid of bacteria, fungi, and mold. Besides food, birds need water. One way to provide water is by adding a fountain or a bird bath with shallow water. Having running water helps attract even more birds to your yard. And because birds need water in the winter too, it's a good idea to get a bird bath heater, if you can. And remember, always provide birds with clean water. Besides food and water, birds also need shelter. Providing shelter, or cover, gives birds a place to rest and a safe place to fly when predators show up. There are 2 ways we can provide shelter for birds: bird houses and natural cover. Houses can give birds a place to build nests. Different houses attract different birds. For example, chickadees like light-colored houses that are set about 8 feet high out in the open sun. Nuthatches like their houses covered with bark and mounted on tree trunks about 12 to 25 feet high. You and your parents can also help birds out by making sure that your yard has plenty of natural cover. By planting the right kinds of plants, trees, and bushes, you'll be making sure that birds get the right food and shelter they need. The more greenery in your yard, the wider variety of birds you'll attract. For example, conifers and evergreens provide shelter, nesting material, space, and food. Nut-bearing trees provide nesting sites, shelter, and high-fat food. Fruit-bearing trees and shrubs provide food that sometimes lasts into the winter months. Flowering trees, shrubs, and plants provide nectar, which attracts nectar and insect-eating birds. Grasses provide nesting materials, shelter, and food. So take a bird's eye look around your yard. Are there places to find food, water, and shelter? Are there lots of different plants and trees to check out? If so, you'll probably see your feathered friends all year round. Try it. Gotta fly. Bye.
Portions of the preceding program were co-produced by the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources and Discover Wisconsin Productions as part of the children's television series Into the Outdoors.